Alright guys, funky music here, and today we got a video from a... I don't even know what the hell this is. The True Death of World of Warcraft, patch 3.3. Now, just watch a little bit here. I just want to get a few of his words quoted here, and then move into the rebuttal on
Today
this.
we are investigating the true death of World of Warcraft, which in my humble opinion started with the addition of patch 3.3. So when I say the death of World of Warcraft, I'm talking about the precise point where the subscriber count started declining.
Okay, he says the patch 3.3 was where the subscriber count started declining. Let's look at that, shall we? No, I don't see any decline here. It stayed the same going in there. You can look at any graph you want to. Any graph always shows the exact same thing, that it stayed the same going into Cataclysm. I don't see a dip anywhere on any of these graphs. I never have. I've been looking at this for years. There's no dip in what happened between Cata and Wrath when those first two came out. The only one I could find was this one here, where it shows a drop in quarter 2 of 2009, which would have been about, what, patch 3.1 when that came out, somewhere around there, or maybe the start of 3.2. Even this shows the end, which would have been 3.3, right around here, because 3.3.5 did come out. Still shows it the same, no dip here in between these two. In fact, there's an uptick when 3.3.5 came out, would have been that quarter, right around there somewhere. Quarter 4 was when 3.3 came out and released Ice Crown and all the other stuff. So yeah, no dip. This is the only one I could find that had a dip showing in quarter 2, which would have been either 3.1 or 3.2 patch. So what the hell is this dude talking about? Like, the numbers started to decline first here. A noticeable decline here in Cataclysm. So his whole theory just shot to shit instantly, because every graph of every single... doesn't matter what you're looking at. It looks steady incline, Cataclysm decline. Like, it's in every single fucking graph you look at. I don't know where he's pulling this information out of his ass from, but you could do a simple, I hate to say it because it's so easy to go do this, just WoW subscriptions, or WoW subscription, just go Google it. You could look up every single graph there was ever made. So a little bit of just typing in a word and looking it up online would have served this video very, very well, instead of making out bullshit claims that the subscriber count dipped in Wrath. It did not dip in Wrath.
Rather than increasing. So at a first glance, 3.4 Forge of Souls, Pit of Sauron and Halls of Rage 3.3 did add the matchmaking Dungeon Finder.
Now, I know what he's going to say here. I know what he's going to talk about. He's going to talk about Dungeon Finder being the prelude to Raid Finder, which... honestly, if anybody knows, there was a rudimentary raid finder in the Dungeon Finder thing. If you knew about that, there was actually, I think it was under, if you hit O, something like that. There was a rudimentary one where people could use that and find dungeons, or raids. It wasn't what LFR was, obviously, but yes, if you want to make the complaint that Dungeon Finder was the start of LFR, sure, but as you could tell, as long as Dungeon Finder was the only thing, and before LFR was implemented, it had no effect on the community whatsoever. So if you want to say that's the start of where they started to go down the wrong path, sure, but it's not where the true death of it happened at. The true death of this was Cataclysm. Everyone who played during retail knows this. Cataclysm had shitty fucking raids. Minus Firelands, they were mostly shitty fucking raids. They also had LFR, which ruined the game. One of the big reasons why it ruined the game. They also did the dumbing down of the talent points. The splitting up, the other big one was the splitting up of raid groups, making the 10-man and 25-man drops do the same thing. So why would anybody run 25-man when 10-man was always considered easier, even if it did drop or didn't drop the same loot? And then you could switch it to 25-man or switch it back to 10-man. So you had less retards to worry about. If your guild had 10 good players and 15 other just average or retarded players, or not as advanced as your top tier 10, you could just take those 10 and clear the same content. There's a variety of reasons why Cataclysm ruined the game. So to point to Dungeon Finder as the start of where things, might have gone bad. But if they kept Dungeon Finder throughout Cataclysm, I think we would have definitely seen a bigger difference. So whoever, I don't know who this is. I just found this video today, and I just wanted to share it with you guys, because it's just stupid. Like, where this guy gets his information from, I have no idea. What he's talking about, while it is true a little bit with the Dungeon Finder, it is just pure and utter nonsense to say that there was a decline, or that they had anything to do with the drop-off. There was a multitude of reasons why the drop-off happened in Cataclysm.
The world of Warcraft. The clue really is in the name. This is a multiplayer online game. One of the massive unique selling points of an MMO is that there's a huge world for you to go out into and explore. And what a matchmaking system does.
Okay, what he's failing to mention here, he's talking about the matchmaking system and what it does, and how it dumbs down the world, basically. You don't have to go and find a group and then all ride there and blah, blah, blah. Well, you got to remember, too, what this guy's failing to mention and failing to talk about is that plenty of players had already done this content. And the new expansion, which gave us Force of Souls, Halls of Reflection, and Pit of Heresy, all three of those were all located in the same room, very accessible, very easy to get to fly from Dalaran, okay? So what they were only doing for the matchmaking part of it was making it so you didn't have to run to places that players have been running to for the first year and a half in the game already. There was no point in doing that anymore. And you already had done it because LFR had come out so late that people had already done it a bazillion and one times and been doing it. So this brought, you could say, well, Funky, what about the new players? Okay, there wasn't that many new players at the end of Wrath of the Lich King. Obviously. The stats even show, the subscriptions even show that the uptick, it stayed pretty much the same. The only uptick was right at the end in quarter 3, right at the end of Wrath. Okay? Which was 3.3.5. So you had the same amount of players doing the same shit and doing all these dungeons previously. So they already knew where to go, what to do. LFR just made it easier at the time. So this whole notion that LFR, or it made the experience lessened and whatnot, is absolutely fucking ridiculous, because people had already been doing it for a year and a half to begin with. Like, does this guy not even realize that? It's stupid. This is why I hate these. I hate these channels like this, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't even have a clue. A simple little bit of research would have blown this out of proportion and blown this whole thing, his whole theory to shit, if he had just looked some shit up. And I'm not going to sit here and go through the entire video. I think I've hit the points that I want to hit on it. I could probably sit here and pick apart the whole entire video. But yeah, thinking like this and stupidity like this, and you get other people thinking like this when you're just completely and utterly dead wrong, is what I cannot stand about these fucking YouTube channels, where they're just absolutely fucking wrong. Like when you talk about old school shit, dude, you can go and look it up. Like, this guy's going off his knowledge, and which is very, very poor knowledge at that, apparently, because he's dead wrong on a number of topics here that I've already pointed out. And it's horrible. This is just horrible. Simple searches will show that you're just full of shit, dude. So, yeah, guys, whenever you watch a video, I just want to point this out. I don't care if it's my video. Go and fucking do some research on your own, and go look into stuff that people say. If you think they're wrong, you think that they don't know what they're talking about, blah, 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 blah. As soon as I seen this video, I was like, oh, the title? I'm like, oh, this ought to be interesting. Let me see what his theory is on this. And I kind of figured even before I even clicked on the video what his theory was going to be. If you disagree with somebody, please make a response video or a comment. I'm doing both. I've made a comment on here and going to be making a response video to this. This is just absolute, utter nonsense that this guy is spewing to. So far, 22,000 people have watched this. It's just nonsense that people actually sit and watch this and apparently agree with it. It's just dumb. Guys, don't fall into shit like this. to people that don't even know what the hell they're talking about. I'm gonna have to look into this dude. Is this dude even like now I gotta look him up. Like, is this dude even like good? Do you even know what the hell he's talking about? My first BWL run. Okay, so he's a newer player. He didn't play. I'm assuming didn't play in the old vanilla, the original. 5 things I don't like about Classic WoW. Okay. So did this guy just start playing Classic WoW or what? I had a bad week. Oh, man, you look rough there, bud. Sorry. At least you got a full head of hair, though. I think you can grow somewhat of a beard. Anyways, top 5 dungeons in Classic WoW. What? Like, no. How do you rank those? Like, it goes by what gear's in there and what gear you need. That's all retarded. 2 years ago, monk build. I'm assuming this guy only plays retail, doesn't play any private server? I don't know. Top 10 OP spells. Oh my god. Like, how many videos out there exist? Anyways, yeah, I'm out of words. Like, this stuff is just so dumb that people post out there and they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. So, no. The true death of WoW was right after Cataclysm launched. And it continued that trend for a very long time. I don't know where people come up with that 3.3 was the death of WoW. Because 3.3.5 still came out. And, look, there was an uptick in player base. So there was no sub loss. There was a sub gain. I don't know if this guy was looking at this thing upside down or what the fuck he was doing. Again, stupid. You could look at every single graph, and every single graph will show you the same thing. That there was an uptick right at the end. Even this one that shows a loss in quarter 2 shows an uptick towards the end. So yeah, be careful who you guys watch on here. And if you see bullshit like this, please guys, call them out on it.